Saturday night.
Time for your weekly dose of pop culture.
With Kathy and Kenny. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. It's Saturday night. It's time for Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture. I just realized the microphone was like way away from me. And I wasn't even ready to do a show. I'm like, what am I doing? What's it all about? I don't know. I am Kathy, and this is my brother
Kenny.
And we are Kathy and Kenny. We come on every Saturday night. We explain pop culture to the best of our ability. Okay, maybe we don't explain it. Do we deconstruct it? Maybe not. Do we just chat about it? Maybe so. That's where we are right now. That's who we are. Welcome to the show. Thanks for hanging out with us. And of course, we have, as always, in the house, Scooby Life, our pop culture kids, for hanging out and always appreciate. I wonder, I'm trying to take the comments and put them right on the screen.
There you
So that
go.
way we can see them.
Go.
Huh? That works.
That works. There you go. Right there, nice and bright, nice and big.
Nice and big. Yeah. So they kind of come in, they go out. Hopefully I can make that work. I'm still playing with Ecamm and learning it. And there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. I just haven't stretched my Ecamm muscles enough. So that's what I'm working on for when I grow up. So how are you tonight?
I'm okay. I'm okay tonight, Kathy. I'm, just here to do some pop culture, and we have some pop culture news.
Pop culture
So
news?
the nominations came out for the Golden Globes.
Ah, yes, the Golden Globe Awards.
So there's some things on the Golden Globe Awards that we kind of saw coming. Oppenheimer is one of the for Best Picture.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
Now, did you see Oppenheimer?
I did not see Oppenheimer.
Okay. Because I did see the other big movie of the year.
Oh.
We have a first timer with us. Welcome.
Friend of mine.
I still don't have the dimensions right for this for the screen.
Yeah.
To get the comments
she's
in.
And she's hoping to learn a little something. You're not going to learn anything. I'm going to let you know.
No.
Right, you're not going to learn anything. You're going to have fun, but you're not going to learn anything.
Right. Because basically, and again, welcome. This show kind of started during the pandemic, and I was coming on live on Facebook talking about, what was that song? Oh, the show got canceled too. It was somebody's infinite music playlist. So I was talking over these 80s videos. And then my brother joined me, and we just started, kind of hanging out on Saturday nights during the pandemic, talking pop culture, reliving our I was about to say test tube, not test tube, boob tube childhood of latchkey kids growing up on everything from The Price is Right to the Brady Bunch, and all things MTV. So that's
we are not
what we kind of
testing
hang out, talk about, debate about, and we all agree that. Well, we don't all agree, but I'm right, and that's usually how it turns out because I control all the visuals. So whenever I get a sense that Kenny's going to say something that's not right, then we get a chance to not see Kenny. But in any case, I know that's some cold blood stuff. But Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. I know we're in that time. We're in that frame of mind.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Okay. Well, we can agree to disagree.
Okay. All right. I would say Reindeer Games is not a Christmas movie, but it's more a Christmas movie than Die Hard. Because again, yeah, just don't mess with me in the genres. Although I will say, and I know we were doing pop culture news and I took a U-turn, but you know what movie I keep seeing come on? And it is one of my favorite Christmas movies that
Mhm.
I don't know. I think it got overlooked. It didn't do big box office, and it has Nick Cage, but it is The Family Man. Have you seen that?
I love The Family Man.
Oh, get out! Oh, get out!
I love The Family Man.
I see. I didn't even think that would be one that you would like. I didn't even think that would be one that you would like or even know about. I
I
love The
love
Family
The Family
Man.
Man. You know, I mean, come on. You got Nicolas Cage. You got Don
Don
Cheadle.
Cheadle.
You know,
Yo, Jack. I call all you guys Jack.
you have Jeremy
Piven.
Piven. And come
Taya
on. I mean,
Leone. I
Ray
just think,
Leone.
yeah, I
You
just think
cannot
it's
go wrong with
cool.
that movie. You cannot go wrong with that movie.
Okay, and
That has
that is a
great
holiday
cast in it.
movie.
Yeah, it's a great
Die
holiday
Hard,
movie.
on the other hand,
It's a holiday movie. It happens on Christmas Eve.
I have a
Okay.
hard
Anyway,
time saying yes
let's
to that.
let's get into
Okay,
the
I'm
pop
sorry.
back into the pop culture news. We're diverging away from where we want to go. Let's go back into pop culture news.
All right, you go to the pop culture news.
So, best motion picture for the Golden Globes: um, Autonomy of the Fall, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, The Zone of Interest. Here's my problem with the academies, with the Oscars and the Golden Globes. The best picture movies are movies I ain't never heard of.
Well, I have heard of Maestro because
I heard of
Bradley Cooper
Maestro.
did an interview a couple weeks ago with Howard Stern, and he talked about Maestro. It's a movie he spent 6 years working on and making, and it's the life of Leonard Bernstein. And actually, it's supposed to be pretty good, and it's been getting the Oscar buzz. Now, Killers of the Flower, you haven't heard of Killers of the Flower Moon?
No, man.
Because that was all over. Oh, that's right. You don't have Apple TV. But that was
No.
one they were featuring on Apple TV. You could download it or pay to get it, but that's out in theaters. That's the
You
one with
don't even try
Leo
to get on.
DiCaprio
That was with
and
Drama.
Robert De
This,
Niro.
yeah. Now,
I didn't see it. It's supposed to be good.
best picture for musical comedy: Air, American Fiction, Barbie, of course, The Holdovers, May, December, and Poor Things.
I've only seen one of those movies, and I'm
Now,
embarrassed to
best
say.
motion picture.
Have you
Your
seen
best motion.
Barbie?
I did not see Barbie.
Okay,
It is now on HBO.
it's on Max.
It's on Max, and I don't know if if I got nothing to do and I can't schedule laser eye surgery, I might watch Barbie.
That's brutal. That is brutal.
It is
I didn't
very
think
brutal.
Barbie was that bad. I actually I enjoyed it.
Now, the best motion picture animated is The Boy and the Heron. The heck? Okay, Elemental, Spider-Man, of course, the Spider-Verse, the Super Mario Brothers movie, and Wish. Now, this is Spider-Man. Of course, I seen that one,
Of course you saw
and
that one.
that was phenomenal, and it should probably win. Cinematic. Okay, they have something called Cinematic and Box Office Achievement,
Okay.
and it's got Barbie,
Of
Guardians of
course.
the Galaxy, John Wick, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, Oppenheimer, Spider-Man, of course, the Spider-Verse, the Super Mario Brother, and Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour.
That's gonna
Taylor
go to
Swift,
Swift.
the Eras Tour wins.
Taylor Swift's gonna win that.
I'm
Y'all
going.
can go home
Look. I'm
now.
going to. If Taylor
You know
Swift
what?
wins,
It was missing something, Scooby. Scooby Life is saying that she didn't love Barbie. It was missing something. I can't even put my finger on it.
did you pay money to see Barbie?
No, no.
Okay,
It's
good.
on Max.
Yeah, I didn't watch it at all. I'm gonna tell
It's
you
on
what.
Max.
Barbie on Max came
I,
out the same weekend as a great show.
Oppenheimer.
There's a great show on Amazon Prime called Reacher.
Hmm.
So Barbie on Max came out the same weekend as Reacher. I'm sorry, I watched Reacher last night.
You watch
The first
Reacher.
three episodes of Reacher. I'm telling you, Reacher is one of the greatest shows on Amazon Prime right now. It is phenomenal. It's great. Watch season 1 and then catch up with season 2.
Did you
So also for the
did you
Golden
need to
Globe,
watch the movie Reacher, or
no,
can you pick
no,
up
don't
on the
watch.
TV
Okay,
series?
let me tell you something. If you watch the movie Reacher with Tom Cruise,
Hmm.
the TV show, the actor that plays Reacher in the TV show, is more believable that he's kicking everybody. Hey, Mike Franklin's on the live. Um, the guy who's played Reacher on the Amazon Prime show, and I got to get his name, is more believable in kicking everybody's behind than Tom Cruise. I'm just saying.
Ah, do you know
Steve's in
who
the
that
house. Hey,
actor
Steve.
is? Give him his
That
flowers.
actor. Yeah, no, I don't know who that actor is. I got to get his actor. But so best performance by an actor, Bradley Cooper and Maestro, Leonardo DiCaprio, Killers of the Flower Moon, um, Coleman Domingo, and Rustin Barry Keoghan and Saltburn, Cillian Murphy and Oppenheimer, and Andrew Scott and All of Us Strangers. Best performance in a motion picture um, by an actress, Annette Bening and Nad, Lily Gladstone and Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Huller in Autonomy of the Fall, Greta Lee in Past Lives, Carrie Mulligan and Maestro, and Kaylee's Speeney and Priscilla.
Hmm.
So that's pretty much, in a comedy, a musical,
Well,
best
yeah,
actor.
they keep those separate. They keep the drama and the comedy separate on the
Yeah.
Golden Globes. But the
So
Golden
Nicolas
Globes
Cage
also
is,
does television,
yeah.
which, you know.
Yeah. It's got television. I mean, we don't have time to go like, okay, the best television series, musical or comedy, absolute Abbott Elementary, Barry, The Bear, Jury Duty, Only Murders in the Building, and Ted Lasso.
Now, see, and you know what's interesting is that just about all of those shows, only one show is from like a major network, ABC. Like there was a time
Yeah.
when, Golden Globe, Emmy nominations, it was NBC, ABC, or CBS. And then it was a big deal when HBO got a bunch of nominations. But can you
Right.
believe like all of those nominees, The Bear, Ted Lasso, Only
Jury
Murders in
Duty.
the Building, Jury Duty, Barry, it's all streaming services or pay services. Only one network show is in
Yes.
those nominees, and that's ABC for Abbott
Yeah. And
Elementary.
Abbott
Wow.
Elementary is a great show. I want Abbott Elementary to win again. It's a great
I
show.
I
Best
love Only
television
Murders in
series,
the Building, though. I do love it.
really.
I'm addicted.
Jury Duty was pretty good, also. Actually, I'll be
I
honest
haven't
with you.
seen
Uh,
Jury Duty.
it's pretty weird, but it's pretty good. Best television series drama: 1923, The Crown, The Diplomat, The Last of Us, The Morning Show, and Succession.
And everybody
And
loves Succession, and I haven't gotten into. Oh my God, that list is all streaming services and cable.
I never. What is
There is
Succession? Is that all?
no. Oh, I wonder, is this a first? There are no um, network
Network?
shows on that list
I
because
wonder.
the Crown is a Netflix. Um, what's the other one? The Diplomat is Netflix. The Last of Us was HBO. That was so good. I didn't play the video game, so it was based on a video game, but
Yeah.
I watched The Last of Us, and
I.
I don't I don't like sci-fi or horror, but I don't know. I've been drawn to all these like Walking Dead and The Last of Us, all these post-apocalyptic shows. And you know what's the sad thing? If there is such a zombie apocalypse type deal, I'm so fat. I'm probably going to be one of the first people to get eaten. I'm not going to be able to
Wow.
run.
Wow. That's
I'm not going to be able to outrun the zombies.
That's I'm out running. I'm not out running. If I can't outrun, I'm fighting and I'm taking them down. I'm not going
Oh,
out. Who
And
decides?
well,
Well,
actually, the Golden Globes are decided by the foreign press. So, and again, with any of these awards, it's like who or what studio is putting out the most money to send these people to the nicest dinner and give them the swaggiest of swag bags so that their star or celebrity can win and in turn make them more money. It's all a game and it's all hype, but we get to invest in it. I used to, when I worked at different schools, I would do a not for the Golden Globes, but more for the Oscars. I would do a poll, and whoever had the most correct answers, I would give away like movie passes. Um,
really.
all right, Tawana saying, uh, us thick ones can run, and that's true. I'll be running, but like I said, my chances in the zombie
Dewana,
apocalypse are going to be pretty slim.
you're not that thick, Dewana. You're not that thick. I don't understand what you're talking about.
So yeah, that's pretty
Versus,
interesting that we live in an age now where like network TV, I don't know what are they supposed to do? They just do you think we'll see a
well, I
day where we
mean,
won't have a ABC, NBC, CBS or Fox?
there might be. I mean, it's already coming to that people don't really watch it. I mean,
Yeah.
I watch network TV for the CW superhero shows
Mm.
and Abbott Elementary.
You know, I don't think I watch anything on network. You know how bad I am? I think I watch more YouTube than I actually do network TV.
Wasn't Twilight Zone?
It says Kathy wasn't Twilight Zone sci-fi because if I remember correctly, you love Twilight. I did enjoy Twilight, but that's because I read the books first. And can I tell you my New Year's resolution before we go on?
Go ahead.
Or not that I'm going to do a resolution, but here's what I'm going to try to do in the new year. I'm going to read, and this is reading, not audio booking, because I do a lot of that, but I am going to read at least 2 books a month. I'm going to try. That's my goal. Cheer me up.
I like that. All right. People come up.
You're like,
I like that
yeah,
idea. I
and
like that energy. I like that energy.
I am
I,
going
I'm going to try to read more comic books.
more comic books. All right. But hey, it's a small little goal, but I've been
It's just
doing this thing called a miracle morning where you do the savers. You do a moment, you do some silence, you do some affirmations, some visualizations, exercise, reading and scribing or writing. So I'm going to work on that for the new year. I mean, I've been doing it, but again, a lot of times my reading is very brief. But I figure if I set a goal to at least put away 2 books uh, a month, one fiction, one nonfiction, I should get through it. I've already started my January book because it is pretty large, and I don't know whether I'll get through it. But I'm reading the complete Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
oh, nice. Now I'm not finished with pop culture news, but I am finished with talking about
Good
the
luck,
Golden
I'm
Globes.
Lacey. I like to be read too. I know I have gotten into a really serious Audible book habit, so I do like listening to books, and especially it's good if you're exercising or walking or whatever, is to listen to books, and I will do that. But that's why I'm only setting the actual books I'm going to read to 2 because I want to. And we have never done a book show, Kenny. I'd love to do one, but I try to get Kenny on board with that, but he's not. And Steve is asking a question. He says, "What do you think the percent of people watching major networks?" And I'm just wondering how they measure it because they used to do that Nielsen thing, although you didn't know who a Nielsen family was. Like who gets the box? Ain't nobody in my neighborhood had no box, but that's a whole nother story. But how can they tell? And to me, it seems like it'd be easier to tell because if you have cable or streaming service, they can kind of clock what you're watching. You know? So I wonder what that percentage would look like. The way he's looking for the cliff notes. And you know
Yeah.
what? Because in college I did rely on some of those cliff notes that I
Shame on
actually,
you.
when I first got out of school, I actually did have this whole phase, and that was probably back in my 30s, where I went back and I read the classics and I read all those books, those Henry James,
No.
whatever it was, the Odyssey, all the things that in college and high school I kind of cheated with the cliff notes. I actually did go back and read
Wow.
some of those classics.
Wow. I had to
I'm
read Great
pretty well
Expectations,
read, dude. Come on.
and you were doing Cliff Notes. I actually read Great Expectations.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I actually read Great Expectations,
Okay. Oh,
and
that's
you
good
were
for you.
doing Cliff Notes.
Oh yeah, I've done my share of
I
Cliff
think that was
Notes. I
cheating.
ain't
I
no
didn't
shame in
do
my game. I probably still have them.
it. Mm,
I have done
mm.
my share of Cliff Notes in the day. Yes, it
So,
happens. And you know what? There was one book that I actually couldn't read. I was struggling with that book and I had to put it down, and that was Alice Walker's The Color Purple. I actually
really,
wasn't able to read the book until after I saw the movie because it was written in Seeley's dialect and she was kind of speaking in this broken English. I struggled trying to follow along what was going on because it was more like her journal, her diary, and her voice. And I just, I was having none of it. And then after I saw the movie, it kind of made sense. I actually read it. And it's always nice to read the story behind the movie so that you get like some sense out of it. You want
okay.
to see
So I
you
got
want to see
one more.
you want to see the two books I'm starting off with? Oh,
Okay,
I already
what you?
told you. One was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and the other is going to be Second Brain by Tiago Forte. So that's where my mind is going.
Um.
Steve is saying didn't have to read too many books. That's what I'm saying. Me too. I struggle with anything less than the King's English. Oh yeah, because and again, once I kind of understood the language, then I had no problem. And Toni Morrison can be like that with some of her works, but there's just, to me, a poetry about the way she writes that I love to read. To me, her writing I can follow, and it has more of a musical poetic essence to it. But that Alice Walker book, Color Purple, was kind of hard to read. Kind of reminds you of even a book like Catcher in the Rye, which, not that it's hard to read, but when it's being told through, when the narrator of the story is telling you again in their language, sometimes you got to pick up that rhythm. And I just struggled with Alice Walker and her rhythm. But the rhythm is going to get you. The rhythm is going to get you tonight.
All right. So I'm not even finished with pop culture news,
You're
but
not
we
even
haven't got to our main topic.
I'm sorry.
I'm waiting for you to be quiet so we can finish. Um. So the next thing on my pop culture news is I want to point out that Christmas time is here, and for Christmas music, the Brenda Lee song at the 65 years, "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree" has reached number one, and that was the rest of my pop culture news about "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree." I think she actually recorded this song when she was like 18 or 19. So now she recorded it back in '58. "Rocking Around a Christmas Tree" is a song I actually like too, and she recorded when she was like 16, 17, something like that. And 65 years later, she's now like 79 years old, and the song finally reached number one.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So that's kind of this lady who's like in her 70s or whatever now has a number one song, which makes her the oldest person to ever have a number one song on the charts.
Oh, all right, Steve. Thank you. Steve is giving. I'm sorry, Ken, not to get back on the books, but he's given us a recommendation from a friend of his, John Noonan, who wrote a book called Star Souls, and I wonder if that is a sci-fi book and if that's fiction. Because hey, I'll check it out. I'll add it to the list. But I heard about that too, that now Rocking Around the Christmas Tree beat out the Mariah Carey song for like,
Yeah.
I guess All I Want for Christmas Is You has been like the number one Christmas song for like ever since it came out. And Rocking Around the Christmas Tree wasn't. And like I said, and I know you don't listen to Howard Stern, I do, but they actually played a tape of her like singing that song because she's like 78 or 79 now. And she's still,
Yeah.
can you imagine, like, you recorded this song when you're like 13 years old, and some 65 years later, you're still like, you should be retired, but you're still going out rocking around the Christmas tree.
Look, every holiday season, Brenda Lee has a job.
Hey,
Okay,
she
she's
got
like
a
Santa
job.
Claus.
Hmm?
Every holiday season, she has a job. She's like Santa Claus. Leave her alone. Let her do
Yeah,
it.
she was only a teen. Um, and I didn't know what I don't think she wrote it. I think someone else wrote the song, but
Yeah,
she performed it. I don't think she was the composer. I don't think. I could be wrong,
could be wrong.
but
I
I
just had it
rarely
up.
am.
Yeah,
But
well, sometimes you can be, but
I think because even on this interview that I heard, she was talking about the composer, and I think it was somebody else who
yeah,
composed it.
the
Yeah,
Rocky Mountain Christmas Tree was written by
1958.
Johnny Marks and recorded by Brenda Lee in 1958.
Okay,
So Johnny Marks wrote the song.
yeah. But
So
again, if she's
there
like
it is.
79 or something like that now, and she did it in like 58, so there's all kind of math that has to go into that I can't really
Yeah,
do
I'm not.
now
I'm not.
because
I'm
I'm
not.
I'm
I'm not.
drinking the hard stuff.
Oh, water. Yeah. Okay. Well, me too. I'm drinking the hard stuff. She was born
Hmm.
in '44, so that would make her 79 now. And in '58, that would have made her. Oh wow, that would have made her only like 15.
Yeah, she was a teenager. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That
So and
uh,
boy, at
but
that
that
age,
but
she had a
that
powerful
song, but
voice.
that was probably her only hit though, right? But it was never number
Well,
one until now.
she had
Like,
some other hits back in those days. She had some other hits back in those days,
okay,
but nothing as memorable as "Rocking Around the
rocking
Christmas Tree."
around the Christmas tree.
So we're gonna move on.
Okay.
And as we broadcast our show, we're talking about for our last half hour. Before we move on to that, Kathy, why don't you make your special announcements now that we're at the half hour mark?
Oh, okay. I have what special announcements I can make. One special announcement I can tell you about is, well, our show. You're here. Hopefully, you're watching us on YouTube. I know we do get a few folks on Facebook, but our YouTube channel is Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture. Pop over there. Give us a like. Give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the show. And subscribe. That way you hit the little bell thing and you'll get notified when we're on, although we're always on at this time, which is Saturday nights, 8:30. We hang out. And also we can be heard on Who's Got Next Radio on Tuesdays at, I think, several times, one of them being 6 p.m. We're on Who's Got Next Radio. Happy to be a part of that on Indie 101.5. And you can always visit us online, kathyandkenny.com. That's the website. That's the place where we hang out. So check us out. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you for helping us explain pop culture. I'm done.
Okay. All right. So originally, we were going to talk about Norman Lear, and we're going to use the last couple of half hours to talk about Norman Lear because Norman Lear passed away at the age of 101.
Oh, you know who
Bless
died
his heart.
too this week? I'm sorry, I know we're done with pop culture news, but you know who died this week?
Who?
Uh, uh, Andrew Brower from
Yes.
Homicide: Life on the Street. I didn't even know that. I just saw that online today, so I was kind of
Yeah, he
like,
died a couple of days ago. He passed away a couple of days ago.
oh, it was a couple days ago. See, I'm
Yeah, a
I'm
couple of
I'm
days ago. I
behind.
saw that. I saw that when he passed
I'm
away.
behind. I'm out of it.
Yeah, it's a couple
I
days
told
ago.
you I had to DJ like a middle school dance. Can I just say, and I'm sorry, we'll get to Norman Lear. We will get there. But my goodness, this is when I feel like this is when I feel 60. And I know I'm not 60 yet, but I'm so close. I'm just gonna call it 60 and be done with it. Damn. Anyway, this is when we know there's something wrong with society. The stuff these kids were asking to hear, I'm like, you're middle school. You're 11, 12, 13. Why
Yeah,
are
this is
you
why I quit
listening to
DJing.
this Rod Wave, to this
Yeah,
Sexy Red? There was not one song that they requested that I could literally play.
yeah, this is why I quit DJing.
It was horrible. And I'm thinking, whose parents are letting you listening to this stuff? That's horrible. Ugh.
Well, there's certain times my daughters get in the car and they put the radio on, they listen, and I let them change to what they want to hear on the Spotify, and it's horrid.
Just
It's
say
not good.
no. Turn it off. You're the dad. Well, I mean, I know all your kids are 18 or older now, but still.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
anyway, I'm sorry.
yeah.
That is
Um,
our old people rant for the day. I'm just saying.
well,
Anyway,
you know, in my case, it's like the pot calling the kettle black. If you heard some of my spoken words, so I
okay.
don't,
Uh, oh yeah, it definitely is not about music anymore. Although I will say, when a kid made a request as something that I liked, then I played it. Although some of the requests, I'm like, why do you want to hear that song? It's old or what? Like there's one kid wanted to hear the Pixies. I'm like, you know what? We're playing the Pixies because there's no cursing in it. And then another kid wanted to hear "Yeah" by Usher, and it could be a little risque, but I played that because I'm like, at least there's no ho bitch N words. Oh, oh. Anyway, let's go. Let's move on. I'm so in my feelings right now. I'm sorry. It's
you
just
got some water you're drinking over there.
it is water. Oh, or it's water like.
Okay, well, all right. So,
Stop, people. It's hard. It is hard. Ugh.
yeah, it is.
Just give me some
It
old
is.
school. You know
Me.
what? I just want to crawl up. You know what was good? Because the teachers wanted me to play "Bye Bye Bye" by In Sync or whatever, just to let them know they got to go. They got to leave. Play "Bye Bye Bye." That's the last song. The dance was over at 5:30. It was like 5:26. Hey, that's the last song. Put that on. But after all the kids were gone, you know what? I had to break down the equipment, but I kept like one speaker hooked up to the very end while I took lights and other stuff down. So you know what I threw on? I threw me on some Tina Marie, Behind the Groove. Oh, shake the body, shake. When music was music, when the bass line was thumping, and ow, I got out of there. I got everything broke down in my car, and I was all packed up in less than 30 minutes. It was a joy. But okay, I'm sorry. Let's go on. I'm in such a weird place tonight. Sorry.
I can tell. I can tell. Okay, so
Weird happens.
Norman Lear.
Norman Lear. That's Norman Lear. Let's go. I'm
Hold
not
on.
laughing at the
Hold on for a second.
All right.
You're not drinking, but I am because you are killing me tonight. Here you go.
You're killing me,
Um,
Smalls. You're killing me.
you're killing me, Smalls. I should get that shirt you got me. You're killing me, Smalls.
Oh, you
Okay,
still
I'm
have
running
that
out of
shirt?
things. Yeah, I still have that shirt. I wear that shirt. So Norman Lear. Okay, so that's all in the family. I don't know what to do at this point.
You don't know
Um,
what?
I don't know what to do at this point. But that was all in the family that she
Okay,
had
I'm
posted
sorry.
up
I,
there.
I know I'm all over the
Norman
place.
Lear. Norman Lear was born in July 27, 22, and passed away December 5th on 23 this year. And he's a producer. Let's keep it plain and simple in the short version, the Reader's Digest version. Norman Lear produced shows mainly in the 70s and early 80s that kind of changed the face of TV. A lot of his shows that he produced probably could not be on the air today. They were kind of raw. It was before you had to be politically correct about anything. And, All the Family right there. There's All the Family. I watched a very interesting interview of Carol O'Connor talking in his regular voice and how he usually talks. And in that same instant, he switched up to Archie Bunker, which is a totally different. It's how great of an actor this guy was. Archie Bunker wasn't who Carol O'Connor was, and Archie Bunker was a bigot. Carol O'Connor was a humanitarian, and probably the least bigoted person in Hollywood at the time. But Norman Lear produced all these shows, like Maude, All the Family, Jeffersons, Good Times, and he was a guy who did a lot of things in his career because hell, he lived to 101, so he had a long career to do a lot of things in.
That is a long
He
career.
has-
We should
he got
only hope to live to be 101.
We can only hope to live be 101. But he got in 1977 he got the Peabody Award for Lifetime Achievement. In 1977, he also got the American Humanitarian Association Humanist Arts Award. He also in 1980 he got the Academy of Achievement Golden Plate Award. In 84 he got the Television Academy Hall of Fame. In 2007, the Britannia Awards. He got the Excellence in Television. In 17, he got the National Hispanic Media Coalition Media Icon. And in 17, also, he got the Peabody Award Lifetime Achievement. So, it shows he was involved in All the Family, Sanford and Son, Maude, Good Times, of course, he produced the Jeffersons, Sanford and Son. I think I said that. Hidell, Baltimore. One day he had something to do with a lot of movies. A lot of TV shows. He didn't outright produce, but he had something to do with the production of it. One day at a
There
time.
wasn't there like another spinoff from was Archie Bunker, didn't he have when Edith died, wasn't there a sitcom?
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called.
Archie Bunker's Place. Archie Bunker's Place.
Archie Bunker's Place.
Archie Bunker's Place.
Bazinga. There you go.
So yeah, Mary Hartman, The Dumplings, All's Fair, The Nancy Wilson Show, All That Glitters, Fernando Fernwood Tonight, A Year at the Top, America Tonight, Diff'rent Strokes, The Baxters, and I can't really see too good.
Did he do One Day at a Time, or that wasn't Norman Lear?
Yes, One Day at a Time. Yes, he had something to do with One Day at a Time.
He did do One Day at a Time. I loved me some One Day at a Time.
One Day at a Time was a good show.
This is it. This is life. Go and have a ball. Okay. All right. I know I can't sing, but it does not stop me.
So some of these shows, some of us do remember some of these shows. So I decided to take some of the best moments from these shows. And from the show, wait a minute, I can't get my thing up. That didn't come out right.
That does not sound right.
That did not come out right.
I can't get my thing up.
Mike,
that's just
so
up, inappropriate.
I know. Shut up, Mike.
That's just all kinds of wrong.
Mike saying something.
What does it say?
Later. But so top 10 moments of Maude.
You just screeched yourself.
I know. You know what? And the thing about Norman Lear is, in a lot of his shows, he did things that weren't on television. He did things. He did plot lines and subject matters that you really didn't cover a lot:
Wait,
pregnancy,
it's
racism, abortion, things like that. So
rape.
he covered things, and they did an abortion show on Maude, which
Mm-hmm.
happened a few months before the Roe versus Wade decision,
Mm,
and that's when Maude was pregnant, and um, she had to decide whether she was going to keep the baby or not,
mm-hmm.
and that was the whole show. Because at her age, she was like, in the show, her character was like 48, 49, and she's like, I can't have a baby.
Mm,
And it was called Maude's Dilemma, and that was in season 1, episode 9. Um, and they study things like alcoholism in Maud, politics, and things like that. And then in the top 10 moments of All in the Family, well, the 5 moments, the one moment in All in the Family was Sammy Davis Jr. Episode, which of course is the most popular episode where Sammy Davis is kissing, takes a picture and kisses Carol O'Connor, well, the Archie Bunker character,
yeah.
and shocks him on that. And, you know, Carol O'Connor, the Archie Bunker character, is saying a lot of things to Sammy Davis that are kind of bigoted. And Sammy Davis playing off of that, kind of like, you know what, you. So and Mike and Lionel and Gloria on the side just laughing at the responses that Sammy Davis is giving because they see the joke that Archie Bunker doesn't get because he's just so bigoted. The
You know,
one episode that,
Steve asked a question. He asked, "Did Mud come on during On the Family or after?" And I think it was during because I remember the author being on the Family
yes,
in an episode of On the Family, and I think it was at the same time. And also, I saw it was like a Gantt chart of Norman Lear's sitcoms, and if I can find it, I'll try to pull it up
I
online.
have it in
But it
front of
was
me. All the Family came on first in the early 70s, 73,
mhm.
74. Maud came on after All in the Family and didn't last as long as All in the Family.
Okay, yeah, it didn't how many All in the Family was several years cuz
Yeah, All in the Family was at least 10 years, and I don't know if that includes Archie Bunker's place or not, but the show lasted for over 10 years, and during the span of All in the Family, Sanford and Son and Maude both came and go. Good Times came on after Maude, and then a little bit, a couple years after All in the Family. So that's pretty much how that went, and they were all connected with the characters. Yeah, Maud was Edith's cousin, and Florida Evans was Maud's maid.
I think this
So
chart
yes,
kind of shows like the life history if I could zoom it up, make it a little bigger. Ups, or maybe I made it too big. You can't see it. Kind of how the shows ran, like On the Family, and let me get rid of the advertisements and see if you can see the years. So you got On the Family going from the early '60s to like 1980 or the middle of 1979. Then there was Sanford and Son. Maude was during On the Family. Good Times ran during On the Family. The Jeffersons started like in the middle of All in the Family, and looks like and it ran all the way to the mid '80s. There was
yes,
another show, Hot L Baltimore. It didn't last that long. One Day at a Time started during On the Family, but then ended in looks like '85. Oh, Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Yeah, you mentioned that. You said the dumplings, all's fair. The Nancy Walker Show, All That Glitters, Fernwood Tonight, A Year at the Top. And some of these shows, they didn't last long enough for the bar to cover the title of the show. Different
Yeah, you know.
Strokes, that went quite a ways. The Baxters, Palmerstown. But yeah, I was looking at this chart, and I think it's on the Wikipedia page. That's where I'm pulling this up from, the Wikipedia page. But go
Yes,
ahead,
yes,
Kenny.
that's what we're looking at. So also one of the episodes in All in the Family was Edith's 50th birthday party. She's supposed to be showing up at a birthday party, but it was she had an intruder in the house that was attempting to rape her, and
Yeah, I
she was able
remember
to get
that
away
episode.
before she was raped. But that's the kind of subject matter that they carried in that show. And in Maude too, some things that are cutting edge. Now, also shows like um,
Well, you had child abuse on Good Times with the whole thing
yes,
with
when we get to
Penny.
the Jeffersons. The Jeffersons
Oh, the
now, one of the episodes of the Jeffersons that I do like is the episode that they use a different Tom and a different Helen Willis. But in the Jeffersons, the episode where they introduced Tom and Helen Willis on All in the Family,
Mhm.
that was a really good episode.
They had a different Helen Willis?
Yeah, in the beginning they had a different Helen Willis and a different Tom Willis.
Oh,
In the
really?
first introduction of the Willises.
There was no Roxy Roker and Tom
No,
Poston? Who was it?
no, not until they got to the series.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Was
Yes,
that when
not
it
until
was
they got
still on All in the Family, or was
more.
that an actual episode of The Jeffersons?
No, that was the All in the Family episode.
Oh, okay.
Because in the All in the Family episode, George Jefferson never met the Willises.
Okay.
And Archie Bunker met the Willises first. And Lionel said, I'm going to get my dad to introduce you to the Willises. And Archie Bunker goes, wait a minute, wait. Your dad doesn't know that, her daddy's a white man? And Lionel's like, no. He goes, well, wait a minute, Lionel. I got to be here to see this. And Archie Bunker's like, I got to see this. And it was funny because they used the same mother for George Jefferson, the one that was in the series, and she was at this party because it was an engagement party, and I guess the mother said something, and Archie Bunker, not knowing any better, being offensive, saying, "Hey Jefferson, don't talk to your mammy like that," and because he heard it from Al Jolson, so he thought black people said mammy. So,
Okay.
Mr. Jefferson looked at her, who you calling mammy? And it was like the whole thing. So it was pretty funny. And now the Jeffersons themselves, the best episodes, well, who can forget the episode where Billy D. Williams showed up? And Florence didn't believe that it really was Billy D. Williams.
Oh, yeah.
And realized at the end that it was Billy D. Williams. And, there's also another memorable episode of the Jeffersons. This is the kind of things they covered in these shows, where there was in the building that George lived in, there was a committee, a building committee, and the committee was actually run by Klan members. And George
Okay.
came there to the meeting thinking it was the rich people, and he was going to be in with the rich people. And when him and Tom and Bentley showed up, they were racist against George, and they didn't understand why. And the racist guy that was leading the meeting had a heart attack, and George knew CPR and saved his life. So, and then after he saved his life, the guy was still mad that George Jefferson was black, but his son was like, "Thank you for saving my dad's life." So it was one of them things where, memorable episodes of the Jeffersons. Now, if you guys have any memorable episodes of Maude, All the Family of Jeffersons, please let us know. And now, memorable episodes of Good Times. Of course, everyone's going to say, damn, 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 as the most memorable episode of Good Times when James dies and Florida drops the plates in the kitchen and curses James for dying, and really the actor that played James Evans Jr. Did not want to do the show anymore, and he was kind of surprised by the fact he got fired because he was holding out because he didn't like the way the scripts were going and how they were kind of unbelievable. So he got fired because he wanted to do something different with the show. So I think one of the other episodes that was memorable was the one where not only did JJ get shot, but the episode was, I think the character's name was Mad Bone or Mad Dog. And Mad Dog went to court and his mother showed up and his mother was was like embarrassed about him and then James James went up to him and the guy's like, "Would you want to hit me now, man?" And James felt sorry for the kid and let him off the hook and didn't tear him up. So that was a very memorable episode because the guy was yelling at his mother, like, the actor who did that, I think he recently passed away, but he was a really good actor who did that. And there was a lot of memorable episodes of Good Times. If anybody have any good ones they want to share on the chat, please come in. But, the thing I didn't like about Good Times is they would start off good, and if something bad could happen, it would happen. They keep them in the ghetto. I didn't, it was unbelievable also the way they kept their doors open all the time, below they could just walk in. And that was unbelievable. And when they came in, they could just walk in. Nobody in the projects keeps their doors unlocked. I'm letting you know. I've been to the projects. Nobody keeps their door unlocked. But that's TV for you, though. It's like Friends. You can just walk into somebody's place. And, I think the episode with the child abuse when Penny came in, Janet Jackson, the love of my life, when she comes in and the child abuse thing goes with Kim Fields' mom. What is her name? Kit? Is it Kit Fields?
No, I know you're talking about too. Like, uh,
Kim Fields'
Kim
mom.
Fields is so popular that I know Kim Fields, and I can't think of her name. Now, Chip
Chip. I
Chip
said Kit.
Fields. It just came to me.
Chip. Yes.
Hot
As a matter of
dang,
fact, I have Kim Fields
hot
on my
dang. Those
Instagram.
60 years they're not getting the best of me.
Well,
I can remember a few things.
he's 60, so he can tell you what it's like to get old.
Okay.
Anyway,
as you were saying.
hey, when you're old, you're old. I'm not 60 yet. I'm far from. But anyway,
Don't make me put a countdown timer to your 60th birthday, because I will put it on the screen.
We got a couple. Look, we got a couple years away from that. Okay.
If you want to get that ugly, I will count down. I will count down to the day.
We got a couple of years, but the funny thing about it is
Don't
that
you dare me.
Wow. I have no idea what's wrong with my sister tonight. I have no idea. So I'm usually the one that's acting up, and she's usually the one that keeps the show straight. For some reason, the moon is in flux, the stars are doing something, and it's like, what are you doing?
There are 1,070 days till you turn 60. I'm just saying.
And the crazy thing about me turning 60? When I turn 60, I'm still going to look this good.
So whenever you start acting too much or, getting a little beyond your pay grade.
Mike says, look, Mike is still mad at me. Mike is still mad at me for putting him on blast last week. So I did get cursed out after the show for putting him on blast. And so
about your lasagna that you didn't get.
I'm trying not to put him on blast this week. He's making it hard right now, but I'm trying not to. Because I know where the bodies are hitting. My best friend. I
Okay.
know where the bodies
You
are.
know where the body.
I know where the bodies are hidden, man.
Uh,
So in
he,
any event,
he's double dog daring you. So
yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I don't
another
want to. I
good
don't want to put
Christmas
them out.
movie.
I don't want to put them out. But anyway, um, good times. As far as good times goes, the thing about it is, as bad as their luck was always in good times. There's always something was going to happen good, and didn't turn out that it happened good.
Well,
Um,
that you used to complain to me about Angel. You didn't watch it because it was such a formula that you knew, always there would be some bad guy or some big bad. The fight was always in the last 10 minutes or something like that. You said was why you didn't watch it. But I think the same thing was with Good Times. You get like the first 5 minutes, you get your problem, your issue, and it would get resolved. And then by almost the 20-minute mark, it looked like things were going great. And then at that 25-minute mark, oh crap, something happened and everything comes crashing down and they still sitting up in the ghetto. But it's a good time formula.
Dewana, why you call me a young boy on my show? You always call me a young boy, Dewana. You only a year older than me. I don't know what your problem is, but all that negativity is why you sick now. Okay? Anyway, I'm not a young boy. Grown ass man. Look, so the last episode of Good Times, it was real funny. It was kind of comic, really. Even though it was like a good thing and people were clapping in the audience. But for some reason, last episode, everybody in the show got what they wanted and lived happily ever after and moved out of the ghetto.
Ah, so it truly was good times. Ain't we lucky we got
It was
them?
good time. It took them a couple of years, but at the end, it was good times. And I guess good times kind of showed you that you could be poor and still be happy. I'm still waiting for it, but you can be poor and still be happy. That's what good times taught
That was that the point of good times?
you. Well, I don't know. But, as misguided as some of the scripts were in good times, because I believe Michael Evans, who was part of the Jeffersons, he was one of the writers for the Good Times and one of the co-creators of Good Times. He also wrote some of the scripts, but it was mainly written by people not of color, and they would have to change a lot of scripts to make it a little bit more. The actors would have to talk to the writers and change some of the scripts and make it a little bit more realistic and to black culture, if that's what you're going to represent. So as far as good times and shows like Sanford and Son and shows like the Jeffersons, it was one of those rare times you got to see quality TV with us in it. So we got to give Good Times credit for that.
All right. Well, we
Like
are
Diff'rent
at our
Strokes.
hour, so we need to wrap it up. Anything
Wrap
else?
it up. I'll take it.
Okay. So anyway, so again, this week talking about Norman Lear, the Godfather of sitcoms. Although there were a couple of sitcoms I thought he did produce, and I guess he didn't because I thought he was behind like Golden Girls or Empty Nest, but that was another group that also did some of the sitcoms of the 80s and 90s. That was the I think DeWitt or something. Anyway, not Norman Lear, but I think some of those shows wouldn't have become as popular. We wouldn't have gotten to like sitcoms like even Seinfeld that tried to break the rules of sitcoms and some of the other sitcom successes had it not been for kind of the groundbreakingness of shows like All in the Family, Maude, Jeffersons, Good Times, Diff'rent Strokes. We didn't even get to talk about Diff'rent Strokes a little bit. That's the show I was thinking of, The Facts of Life, but that wasn't Norman Lear. But again, still
It
calling on
was
that same
Diff'rent
kind of
Strokes.
formula
He
and
might have had
dealing
some.
with
Let's see the Diff'rent
those
Strokes.
topics where
He
you
might
have
have
the
took it.
very special episode kind of thing.
Yeah, and let's face it, Diff'rent Strokes was not. Why are you talking about my beard, man?
All right.
My faded beard is
Move.
dope. I don't know what you're talking about.
Let me give you this sign. Do you know what this means?
No, what does that mean?
It's wrap it up. It's TV talk
Okay,
or
you put the comment in.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so next week we're going to do a Christmas show, and we're going to do the songs that kill Christmas. So not every Christmas song you're going to like, and that's what we're going to talk about next week. The Christmas, we always talk about the best and the ones you love.
Any of the songs that they put in Die Hard are automatically killing Christmas because it's not a Christmas movie. So
okay, well, we're not listening to what Kathy's got to say. But next week we're going to talk about the songs that kill Christmas, the Christmas songs that you hear that make you want to just gouge your eyes out, because there are some, and that's our show for next week.
but there are some, and I know you hear them all the time, but they are classics, and I have to hear them at least once every Christmas.
I gotta listen to some. I gotta
think,
like Christmas
wait,
list
Steve,
on.
you might be onto something. I think Steve is starting our list out. Steve is starting our list.
Wait a minute, here's my song I like.
It's like
that grandmother got ran over by a reindeer thing that I can't stand. It's that donkey song I can't stand.
Yeah.
It's that barking dog song that gives me a headache.
Well, it'll be Christmas Eve for our next show on the 23rd, and we will be live from the South Jersey. Yes. And oh, you know what? Do I need to bring my equipment, my microphones, or?
I have microphones, but if you want to use your mic, bring your mic. You're gonna have to bring your Rodecaster.
I love my pod mic. I can't live without my pod mic.
Bring your mic. And
I know all the people who do like podcasts and live streaming are in love with that Shure SM7DB, but my trusty pod mic is everything. Oh yeah, I hate that song. That song gets on my nerves. Yeah, but anyway, we'll be talking all those the good, the bad, and the ugly, so you can weigh in with your opinion. Thanks so much, Scooby Life, Steve, Mike, Dewana, everyone for hanging out with us on a Saturday night as we do what we do every Saturday night. Kathy and Kenny explain pop culture, and we'll see you next week. Wishing you love, peace, and pop culture.
God bless you.
Is that stealing from? If I say that, am I kind of stealing from Don Cornelius?
What? No,
I wish people love peace and pop culture.
He's dead. Yeah, he's dead. Steal from him all you want. He's dead. I don't understand.
He's dead, so ain't a thing he could do about it. We'll see you next week. So we do wish you love, peace, and pop culture.
God bless your soul and keep living. Peace. See you next week.
Thank you for geeking out with Kathy and Kenny on Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture.